0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
That's real good.
Ain't nobody stopping me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Wonderful Pair, where two travel agents with very different perspectives collide. I'm Jess, queen of couples getaway, and this is Tracy, the magical mama, conquering family travel with a sprinkle of chaos. And it sounds like, Tracy, we might have an echo. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'm hoping that it'll settle itself down. Can you hear me?
I'm good. I hear everything fine. The echo you may hear will be the sound of my daughter's feet pounding on the floor. They're home today from school, so they're trying to be quiet, but just a disclaimer, they may not be.
They are little, and they are allowed to be loud and crazy, and that's that little chaos that we love to have. So that's so fun. So if you're watching us, hello. If you're listening to us later, hello, love that. But what you don't realize is, Tracy, I was just like in the same room with you. Today's Wednesday, the 24th. We were just with each other over the weekend.
Yes. We are in two completely different states, for those of you that don't know. Like, not even remotely, it would take a plane ride to get there, or me losing my sanity if I have to drive. So, by the way, guys, if you want to leave comments or say hello, and you're watching on our personal pages, you can't. You have to go to our business pages. So for Miss Jess, that would be Jess Labozetta at Swan and Sparrow Travel. Swan and Sparrow Travel. And then I almost said .com. And then for me, it's my first and last name, Tracy Lagrua at Swan and Sparrow Travel. Just type that in on our business pages. So we're broadcasting both through our business pages and our Facebook pages right now. So, and our YouTube.
Well, it's been a minute since we've been live, and we're excited to be back and in it. As I said, we had just got back from our agency conference, so we wanted to run down some of the fun stuff we learned. And we had all kinds of different vendors that we can work with to make these magical vacations. They were present. We had some fun dinners, and we had some really great conversation about us as people and us as travel advisors and running our own businesses. So it was amazing. I don't know, Tracy, if you do a lot of conferences in other parts of your life, but being in community with other people like that do what you do is so much fun. We had so much fun.
I would love to. It's just hard, getting away with the kids. My husband has 3 jobs. So, but yes, I would love to do more. Planning to do the Nest conference with you guys next year. So,
yeah. So our agency just, we joined a consortium, which just means that we have access to some more opportunities and deals that we can extend to our clients. And they do a big conference about all their preferred vendors. So it sounds like we might be going to San Antonio next year, which is fun.
Never been to this, so I'm stoked.
It's so much fun. We'll have to walk on the river walk with the margarita. I think they have an open container law. We'll see. We'll talk to the lawyers. But we wanted to run down our top 5 moments that we had from our conference, and kind of, obviously we know we talk about Disney and Universal a lot, and a lot of people come to us and say oh my gosh, what else? I don't want to go to Disney, so I guess you can't help me. And we're all like, no, we can actually book so much travel. We can do a lot of different things, and it was really fun to hear a bunch of the different options, that if someone comes to us with an idea, we can make it happen.
I mean, pretty much anything. So one of my most favorite trips I've actually booked was for a group of senior citizens, and they were driving down to Nashville. Oh. And this was a group of, lifelong friends. We had to have stops along the way. And, I wanted to get them in the heart of Nashville. And it was just so cute. And I loved doing that. So, it's kind of like whatever your heart desires at this point. We go through extensive training. We hear from a lot of tour operators and vendors, and we decide what kind of works best for our clients based on how they present and what they can offer us.
Exactly. So we kind of pre-gamed a little bit and talked some things. I think one thing that Tracy and you are really excited about is the Viking river cruises and ocean cruises. People, I know Viking from their ads on Masterpiece Theater on PBS, which everybody's the Viking long ships. It's this lovely British man talking about, I'm not going to do my accent, but everybody loves this idea, and people are really, they want to go on this kind of adventure down the river cruise in Europe, or really they have them on multiple continents. But I don't think people realize that it is kind of affordable. It's not. It is an investment, but it's not as crazy. I don't like using that word. It's not as it might not be as expensive as one thinks. I think mostly because there's usually an airfare deal, so you can like wrap airfare in.
I love that, when you sometimes, like when I try to convince my husband to go anywhere, it's like it doesn't include food, it doesn't include air, it doesn't include what we're going to do outside of that area, and then all these things add up, and then you look at the final bill and you're like, oh my gosh, how much did we just spend? So Viking, I love that they include port excursions in the fare. They include wine at dinner, and I believe beer as well.
I think so.
Right. I love that about them, that it's kind of all wrapped up in this neat little bow, and you know how much you are spending. And then if you want to do pre or post excursions, you can add those on. If you want to do additional excursions at the port, you could add those on. But the excursions they offer at the port, I believe one itinerary they had mentioned had 48 different ones.
Oh my God.
So it's not like you're just getting some basic kind of excursion. You're getting their knowledge, their expertise, their passion for the destination. With river cruises, it's all about the destination. Whereas when I go on, let's just say, a Disney cruise, because that's what our family is like into at the moment, because my children are young, but it's more about the ship, right? And that's always what I ask my clients when they come to me for any cruise. It's, are you more about the itinerary? Or are you more about the ship? Because the ship is always a destination in itself. Viking designs their ships to be kind of like panorama pictures or panorama kind of windows to the outside world. So you're, a lot of times when you're traipsing around Europe, and yes, there's so many things to see, but you're tired, you're hungry, you're looking for snacks, for shopping, you can forget to look up or look out or take a minute to breathe. You're sitting on these ships, and no matter where you're sitting, you're going to have a breathtaking view of the scenery that is passing before your eyes. So my bucket list has always been I am desperate to do a Christmas market cruise. Desperate.
Oh gosh, yes.
Or the Parisian Normandy cruise, because I love history, and I love that they literally park the ships in front of the Eiffel Tower, and you can go out on the bow of the ship and have al fresco dining and have that in the background, have the Eiffel Tower in the background. And people pay thousands of dollars to do this, because I quote hotels in Paris too. And the closer you are to the Eiffel Tower, the more expensive it becomes. So to have that option where you're just literally there, you don't have to get off, you just have this breathtaking romantic view. Oh, that is like a dream come true. But I was actually quite surprised at the inclusions for that itinerary and the price. I think it was around, memory serves me correct, $5,700 total.
Right. Which, for those of us that are coming from the Disney side of things, I'm sorry about that echo.
I don't hear it. You're fine.
You don't hear it? Okay, good. Maybe it's just me. The thing coming about from the Disney side of things, $5,700, was that per person or per cabin?
That was total per cabin. All river cruise cabins sleep two. So even if you're going with Vikings, this is something I didn't know. So even if Viking specializes in adult only cruising, but there are family cruise lines, river cruise lines, but those cabins also only sleep two.
Right. I was just double checking when you mentioned the price, because that's about what a Disney
Okay.
cruise can be.
Correct.
So, and it doesn't include shore excursions. So when you think about it, yeah, I was surprised at how affordable it was. Okay. Love a Viking. We're gonna have to go on that together. That'd be so much fun.
That would be
Okay.
so fun.
The next thing is, we heard like our big wrap up was sandals, and sandals. We love sandals and beaches. It is just such a fun place. Tracy and I have both been on a couple of FAMs, and just a familiarization trip to see the brand. And I mean, when you walk in and you're given a towel, right? When you get off of the bus, you know, they've taken you from the airport and it smells like the island, and then they give you a drink, and then they walk you directly to the check-in lounge, at the desk at the lounge. You know, they just know how to do it right. And I'm so excited. We have a couple of clients that are actually getting married at a destination that's a sandals destination. But I know you love beaches. So we were really excited to hear what Sandals said about a couple of things coming up for them.
Oh yeah, they are finally expanding their portfolio. Everybody I know that has been, whether they're clients or not, I mean, I knew about the Beaches brand way before I even became a travel agent, because so many of my good friends have taken their families on a Beaches vacation and raved, and that's the vacation they did for years. So previously, before this announcement, Beaches had 3 locations: Beaches Turks and Caicos, Beaches Ochos Rios, and Beaches Negril. They did close the Beaches Ochos Rios location. And they are opening additional locations now in the Bahamas and in Barbados. Timeline to be determined, but I'm hoping within the next 3 years or so. But yes, I'm very excited about that. With sandals, one of the most common questions I always got, and I didn't have this realization until I experienced it myself, because the resorts look beautiful. The food, people love the food, they love the service. But until I experienced it myself, I had this kind of like aha moment. The resorts are small and they're accessible. So you feel you just feel less like a sense of welcome when you step off the plane and you get to your destination there. It's the service. It's all about the service. I've never had such amazing service. And I'm not, I've been to a bunch of all-inclusive resorts, and the service is good. It's great. But people knew my name in 4 days. I mean, that might be because I went to the crate truck about 5 or 6 times. But, people knew my name. People were eager to greet you. People were eager to check on you. I was in a club level room, and they have doorbells on the room, so it's not just a knock knock; it's a doorbell. And you go and answer the door. They want to know: do you need anything? How's your experience? Do you need your minibar restocked? Can we bring you more water? It was just kind of like nonstop service. And then just all the little details that popped up throughout my 4-day stay. They had a Junkanoo band just spontaneously start performing for the guests. They introduced their entire staff to everyone during kind of like a pool happy hour. I mean, it was just incredible. This level of service that you get at these destinations. So that to me is why there's so much value. In addition to everything that's included, like I can go down. They had a water sports kind of like location down right off to the side off by the main beach. And you can go anytime you want and inquire about rentals, snorkeling, sailing, anything that they had to offer at that resort. You could just pop in and they will take care of you. They were more than happy to take care of you. I was just blown away by the level of detail and service, and how invested they are in their guests. And I think it's worth every penny. That alone is worth every penny. But the food was actually the best food I've ever had at any all-inclusive resort.
Yeah. I discovered when we've done a couple of things, we've done all-inclusives, we've done cruises, and with drink packages. And I've discovered that I just don't like signing for a drink. I don't like the wristband. I don't like, different, like having to show things. I don't like, certainly on a couple of cruises, I had a package and it was great. But like on Virgin, you still have to sign. On Norwegian, there's like a card that you have to have, right? At Sandals and Beaches, there is no wristband. It's premium drinks. I just walk up. It's like an open bar. I can get whatever I want, and off I go. There's people, offering drinks, and the dinners were amazing. I just love it. And I, again, as those that don't know, I'm a wedding planner as well as a travel advisor. And so they've been trying to get me to sell weddings there forever. And I just didn't. I wanted to experience it myself. I wanted to make sure that if I'm going to put my name on it, that they're going to take care of my clients the way I would take care of them. And on one of those trips, I went down there and I saw them put the tie on the chair the way I would do it, right? Everything was in its place. Everything was to that standard that I hold myself to. And I said, if they can do that and the food is good, because it was, I said, yeah, this is good. So we're going to do a wedding. I mean, I'm almost tempted to fly along with this wedding in St. Lucia because it looks so gorgeous. So I'm excited.
Well, the Regency La Talk is a gorgeous property. So yet another island. This is the reason why our kitchen's not redone. It's always like, oh, I want to go here now.
Well, that's actually one of the problems, right? As a travel advisor, is that even in this conference was part of it. We obviously do a lot of theme parks, a lot of magical trips, but these are vendors that we use, but really like digging in and saying like, what do I want in my back pocket when someone comes to me? Like, for example, Honeymooner came to me and they had a bunch of ideas. And I started talking to them about the Norwegian Pride of America because they talked about Hawaii. And I said, yeah, we can do Hawaii, but here is an easy peasy. You don't have to unpack once after your honeymoon and your 8-hour flight from St. Louis. It's a long way to Hawaii. People don't realize how far it is even from LA. Like, it's an 8-hour flight.
I would have to do a layover in California and then continue on. And then to see the different islands is another expense. And then you're paying for flights between the islands as well. So that is a great thing to do, a great vacation if you want to see the best of Hawaii and only unpack once. So
that was what I was excited about. So anyway, we could talk, like I said, it gets us excited about all the places that we can send people, and then we want to go as well, which is a problem. Okay. Next topic that we got excited about. We didn't just hear from vendors. We had curated workshops throughout the weekend. So we were there for like 2-3 days. And so Miss Tracy did a presentation on neurodivergent travel. And it just opened my mind. There were so many things in there about a whole section of segment of the population that I didn't even really realize questions I needed to be asking. So it was really helpful to understand that, what is it, Tracy? A quarter of the population falls into that neurodivergent category? I don't know.
It was, so the market is about 12%. So it's 12%.
A little bit less.
And it's expected to grow in 2033. I think it almost doubles about. So, yeah.
The one thing I was shocked is that I didn't realize, we always ask about dietary restrictions and, just to know and make sure that we're not setting ourselves up for a problem. But I don't think I realized how much that is connected to the diagnosis. It's not just like I don't like eating gluten, and I know some people are, allergic and whatever. It's not a preference thing. It is tied to the diagnosis. It's very important to make sure, just for one example of things that we need to make sure that we are taking care of when we plan these trips for people. And all the things you said about the airport, like being able to test things out, being able to call TSA cares to make sure that clients are accommodated throughout the airport. People can do test runs if they've got anxiety or certain levels of things that would be just, they want to experience it ahead.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing.
I'm happy. I mean, I think the industry has come a long way in terms of its inclusion and accessibility, but I do think that they do have a long way to go still. But there are all-inclusive destinations that people with these types of disabilities can go to. And I think it's great that their staff is trained and accommodating. And I think that's wonderful. Because it really does open up the world to people. And to hear clients tell me that they've never taken a family vacation together because they're afraid of, putting their child in danger, or they're uncomfortable, or they don't want their child to be uncomfortable, or they don't want to be judged. All these things. Childhood is so fleeting. I mean, my daughter just celebrated her 10th birthday, and it really just feels like yesterday, especially since I haven't lost the baby weight, but it feels like yesterday that she was born, and so, I want people to be able to make memories with their loved ones. It's something I'm so passionate about just in general. I just love doing this to send people away to a happy place and for them to have a great time and make lifelong memories that they'll always cherish and think back upon. And it's such an honor for me to even think that I could be a small part of that. So I don't want to cry. But yeah, so to now be in the, in this market, this new market, and help, families that have special needs travelers attached is also a huge honor and something I take seriously and something I'm super passionate about. I take every class I could get. If there's a certification, I want to do it. I want to know how to serve this market better, and I want destinations to service this market better. So in addition to being an advisor, I like to think of myself as a little bit as an advocate. I was just on the phone actually with Royal Caribbean and expressed my displeasure at their lack of accessible staterooms. So
there you go.
They do have accessible staterooms. I just feel like the amount for the size of the ship, I wish they had more accessible staterooms.
Got it. Yeah, there's a lot there, and so I was just really excited to hear. I have yet to dig into all of my notes. These are just like the high levels, but yeah, really good conversations of some of our internal agents, advisors, and then we learned a little bit about the Enneagram. So that has been floating around on Instagram, and I've never paid attention to it. Took the test, and I mean, it is kind of scary how it describes you. So we dug into that a little bit, and then we chatted about communication styles, just the way in which we present information to people. And then we had an amazing opportunity. Apparently, this is a very well-known speaker that they got for us because he's a friend of the agency owners. It was in Nashville. Chance Scoggins is a motivational speaker and presenter.
I loved him. He was one of the best parts of that entire trip. Just a loving, personable, passionate human being. If you ever see this Chance, you are amazing and just wonderful. So
he basically talked about slaying your dragon, and we're like, what in the world is this? It's like those negative thoughts that pop up. That's like, I'm not good enough. She's done more. Like Tracy and I actually, like Team Labo and Tracy are kind of like always neck and neck for the top one of the agency, because we love what we do and we love helping families. But like, there should be this rivalry sometimes of like, but sometimes that could creep in and be negative. Like, oh my God, I can't believe she's booking again, or what are they doing? But really, like, there's ways to address that mental negativity with, and he calls that your dragon. Like, how do you slay your dragon? There's a sword, and there's a shield, and a helmet, like the whole thing. But this amazing idea that you can stop those comments and you can actually because like what you tell yourself is real, right? Like what goes on in your head. So it was really like, as I said, we started with Enneagrams, we ended with dragon slaying. So it was a little bit of a long day. But for those of us that really like, I think some of us really got opened up to it, and I was really excited to kind of add that option to slay dragons to my arsenal.
I mean, never would think in a million years that there's actually like a neuroscience behind all this and about your personality. He's a 2, by the way, just like me.
He's a 2. There you go. See, I'm gonna have to go follow some Instagrammers that there's all these Enneagrams, and I know lots of people are very into it. One of my national speaker friends who's about ready to write a book. It's about ready to come out, which is really exciting. She saw me post about it and was like, oh my God, we need to talk about it. I was like, okay, figure out what your Enneagram is and how you do it. And like you and I were texting about wings earlier. So for those that know about Enneagrams, we're getting into it. I know we're like a decade late, but it's fine.
It's very interesting. So, but yeah, I had no idea any of this existed. But it's pretty eye-opening to kind of like, here's your personality trait and here's all these things you're good at and here are your flaws.
But also like knowing your flaw also helps you to then be able to like address it. And then the same thing of like the negativity of the dragon, like making sure that you don't let that, like there's a way to flip it around and make it work for you. So It's all up here, right? Okay, so that was like our workshops. We did all kinds of so we weren't just like learning about, oh, look, what's the newest long ship, which there's new long ships. And oh, look at this new itinerary. There are new itineraries. But really like understanding, again, as business owners, how do we manage our business and how do we talk to one another? So I thought that was a really good way to like bring it all together. But in the middle of all of this, while we're learning about our Enneagrams and all of that, Disney, as Disney wants to do, dropped a 40% Disney Cruise Line promo for people traveling in the next 60 days. So all of us had to drop everything, go post to our social medias. People probably saw it. And, we literally had, some people had to step out because they were booking clients because someone said, I need that Disney cruise. And we said, absolutely. So it's really weird being in a conference where you're learning about it, but you also have to then step out and like take care of it.
I'm doing it right now as you speak. So
there you go.
It's coming in. So this is why we love what we do.
We do. It's fun. I talked a little bit about productivity and I reminded people to, block off time on your calendar. And I was do as I say, not as I do, because looking at my calendar today, I'm like, when am I going to get to these quote emails? So that's a later thing.
Yeah. And I love that, by the way. I never knew you could highlight your folders and actually personalize them with the emojis.
So I borrowed that from someone else, another productivity expert. I will admit that's not my idea, but category colors and then emojis in your drive and your folders and like really anywhere G Suite is so cool. And not only is it pretty, it's organized, but I feel like it makes you happy. Like a little emoji. So like when from my agency it says wanting adventure, it's a little suitcase.
I mean, sometimes I put emojis in my itineraries. I'm like, oh, that looks so cute.
Yeah. I started doing it in my calendar too. Like when I have to drive somewhere, I put a little car emoji.
Jess is a reformer. She's a type 1. So
yes, for those that
know. And you'll be like, after hearing all of this about highlighting folders, you'll be like, oh my gosh, this makes sense.
Supposedly I'm like the definition of a reformer. Like, okay. So lastly, before we wrap, because I know you have emails to get to today. We on the last day we had dinner. We had a Jamaican Caribbean dinner sponsored by Sandals. We had a Viking Bavarian feast the day before, but the last day was Sandals. And unfortunately, Amanda, our gal, wasn't able to be there because she was like in St. Vincent leading a tour, which was a bummer. Couldn't say hi to her in person, but anyway, we had this amazing Caribbean food and we were sitting around a table and I was just like, where's everybody going to next? Like we're all travel agents, right? So like, what do we have on the books and what are we looking forward to? And so like going around the table and like, I think we heard there was a Disney cruise, there was a Norwegian cruise, there was Disney World. What else was there? I think some local travel, like domestic travel. It was fun. It was just interesting to hear what other people are doing. I enjoyed it.
Yes, it was awesome. I love, I mean, everybody pretty much knows like we have now moved on from Disney World, Universal. I mean, we just went to Universal, but my daughters are now obsessed with Disney Cruise Line. So we'll be on that so that's our next trip. Shocker.
Which one? Are you in February?
February, we're going on the Fantasy. And then in hopefully the end of the year, we're going to be doing, well, not the end of the year, but the start of the summer, I can't speak sometimes, but we're going to be going to Italy, hopefully. So yes.
We'll have to talk offline. I've got some ideas.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah, we had so much fun. Yeah. So it's been fun. We are really excited. We've got our Disney Fantasy cruise in March, followed by 5 days at the parks. So that'll be fun. But again, everybody is so excited about Epic, and Mike and I have not been able to get down there. So that's also on the short list, but we will get there.
I mean, it's an amazing park. It really is. It's an incredible park, and what they accomplished over there in terms of theming is just absolutely mind-blowing. Like, you're completely immersed in these worlds. My family had a great time. Disney has our hearts. I was very surprised when my daughters have not been able to stop talking about that park and when we can go back. And I was surprised because my daughter gets hyper focused on doing, they're adrenaline junkies, both of them. So she's a big ride person, and that park is about so much more than ride. It really is an immersive experience between the food, the theming, the shows, the activities, the meet and greets. It's all kind of like wrapped up into one. So, it does have more attractions than Epcot, but it's not a big park with a lot to do in terms of you're just thinking about rides. So, I think a lot of people are surprised by that. They are going to expand eventually and do other things, but for now, it's just the 11 attractions. So you have to go to that park with an open mind and appreciating a good theme, or if you're really into Harry Potter and you want to do your wand magic. I loved all the spells there. We had such a great time. Both of the shows are phenomenal. I literally cried both of those shows. So they have a show in Isla Burke, which is, I'm not going to spoil it. I mean, you can.
Well, I think we have a whole wrap up of when you went. So you have to get me prepared when we finally do get down there. Well, we are at a half hour, so I'm gonna call us done so we can go work on our other client stuff. But hopefully you learned a little bit about all the fun we had down in Nashville. We did have hot chicken. I did not eat hot chicken. I had the mild, but we did try a little bit. But we wanted to thank you all for joining us today on The Wonderful Pair. We hope you enjoyed this episode and learned a little bit. Be sure to subscribe wherever you get podcasts. I know Tracy's working on that. I believe we're on Spotify still, so yay. Don't forget to follow us for some social media inspiration and some behind the scenes fun. So it's time to go make some travel memories. We'll be back.
If you guys have any suggestions about what you want us to talk about, please feel free to message us. You can message us via our business page or our personal pages. And I am working on the Facebook page for this podcast as well.
It is a work in progress. We will make it work
at some point. But yeah, we'd love to hear what you have to say. And if you want to do fun things like trivia, we're down for that too, because we love games. So I hope everybody has a great day. We're going to call it here, and we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye. Bye.